Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome back to QOTD, the Question of the Day show, the game show that lets you be on the air, and you can join us here on the air in front of the entire audience by recording your own video answers to our awesome daily questions. There is a link in the chat that will enable you to record, and you could be on the air right now in today's show. Other than that, people have been recording all week long, putting their own answers in, and we are going to go through the ones that you have voted the very best answers so far. And we're going to pick a winner, the champion of the week. Hello, JJ, and hello, Phoebe. Welcome back to QOTD, the Question of the Day show, the only game show that lets you be on the air. It's good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too on QOTD, the Question of the Day show, the game show that lets you be on the air.
You've got my tagline. So Phoebe is new around here, so we're saying a lot of our buzzwords and taglines so that, she gets the message. But you guys may recognize her because Phoebe was a very frequent answerer to some of our earlier QOTDs. And you did such a good job. We wanted to have you as our special guest here on the air for the next couple of months.
Oh, well, happy to be here. Although I don't think I have that tagline ready to go at that speed yet, but I'll get there.
There will be a test at the end of the show.
Yes.
All right. Well, with no further ado, as we always say, let's pop into that first question.
Yes, let's do it. We had some good questions this week, so I'm excited to go through and see the answers. So we start with, what's a movie that is just so bad that it is awesome?
I love this question because I love bad movies, as everybody knows. And it's like, they're not bad movies because they're bad movies, and I don't like to watch a bad movie. Toys. That was a bad movie. I don't really like that one. And you know what? There's a lot of the Marvel that I think is just unwatchable. Sorry to say it. But there are some awesome bad movies like The Highlander. I'm just going to come right out and say that one first because that is perhaps the best bad movie ever made. I just thought, why are they so good? Why is it so good to watch a bad movie? Is it because bad is subjective? Or is it there's something like just charming about like really bad acting and awful scripts and terrible special effects? Like Sharknado.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's the communal experience for sure. I mean, hey, there's a reason we have an entire question dedicated to it because people love talking about how bad a movie is and just making fun of it. So,
yeah, and there are a lot of good answers. So perhaps we should go hear some of them.
Yes, let's do it. Without further ado, let's get into our first answer. Excited to see some.
I recently watched this movie called Kubsurat, and it's this Indian Hindi film. It was a romantic comedy. And it was kind of bad, it was. But it was so camp. There was this moment where they just started suddenly singing, and I loved it. I loved it really much. The main lead was infuriating, but she was also super camp, so I did enjoy that. But yeah, it was super cool, even though it wasn't the best written film.
What's that campy TV show where they break out into song all the time?
Glee.
I'd
Love
say Troll 2, if you haven't seen it. It's like a horrible horror movie, but it's so bad. It's very funny, though. Watch with a group, I'd recommend.
There is a fine line between funny and scary.
Yes.
A movie that is so bad that it's awesome is Sharknado 2 because it has everything you need. Yes, the CGI is bad, but is it a good time? Yes, absolutely. Every time.
So I saw one recently where the shark had like 8 heads. I
know
know.
that one.
Even better.
All right, I'm going to go with everyone's favorite, and that's Sharknado. A movie so good they had to make like 7 more. I mean, what's better than a tornado with sharks in it? Like almost sentient sharks that like attack you, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a great movie. But it's also really bad.
So now we're at Sharknado 1 versus 2.
Or 7.
Or
Yeah.
Could go with any of the classic answers, like The Room, for example. But I think I want to go with any of those recent kids movies that are for kids and are kind of cringy, like Sonic, for example, or Sonic 2. And they're very cliche, and they're really kind of for kids. But if you just sit back and let yourself enjoy it, it can be kind of fun.
Ooh.
I'm not so sure if I can do that. It's like
So
Speed
the
Racer.
movie that is just so bad, but also so awesome is definitely The Hangover. And I think a lot of people would agree. It's so stupid, but also so awesome. They had to make a bunch of them.
I'm like re-examining myself. Is that a bad movie or is it a good movie?
I was about to say, I don't even think The Hangover is like objectively bad. I think that it's just a great movie. I like it a lot.
All right, guys. Well, we've got a lot of choices, Sharknado and everything else, but it's your turn to vote. If you vote, the person that you pick will make it into the final round, and perhaps they'll be chosen as our big champion for the end of the week. There are blue buttons across the bottom of your screen. If you don't see blue buttons across the bottom of your screen, click the link in the chat to open up the voting window, and then you can vote for your favorite right there.
Yes, you can. Yeah, no, I think on the Hangover front, I think we need to distinguish between a stupid movie and a bad movie. Because from what I remember, Hangover is like, it's a little stupid, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
It was still
Just-
like a high budget. Is like, I think the question is, what's the criteria? All right, congratulations, Elias. You
Went
are
with
going
Sonic.
with Sonic. Yeah, or any, I guess, lazily planned out kids movie. But congratulations, you'll be making it to our final round.
I mean, I would watch the Smurf movie we're on right now.
The Smurf movie.
Yeah. Do you remember the Smurf movie?
No.
Oh, yes. You think they stopped at just making TV shows? Not when there's another dollar on the table. Of course they made a great movie. But yeah, so I see his argument. There's some wisdom in that.
True. Well, I think, congratulations, Elias. I think we can move on to the next question and see what other topics we're going to examine today. Ooh, what do you hope scientists will invent in the next 10 years? So this one is pretty good. We're looking into the future, and we're asking, what do you want to see?
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like this was my question 20 years ago, and I wanted there to be the internet, and I wanted there to be like little computers that you could call your friends on and take pictures with, and I got everything I wanted. How about you guys? I mean, looking forward. You're
all
the
checked off.
youngsters. Yeah, check.
I remember when I was a little kid, not even a little kid, when I was in like middle school, I wanted like instant messaging, but through brainwaves, like so you could text friends in class. Because back then we didn't really use MacBooks to text. We had our phones, but we didn't use any like big electronics in class. But looking back at it now in my 20s, that just sounds like a horrible Black Mirror plotline. So I don't think I want that anymore. I don't want people contacting me that much, to be honest.
So you don't want to like talk to animals, like have a little brainwave?
Oh,
thing?
well, if it could be with animals, like a little
That would be cool.
Dr. Dolittle type thing, that'd be cool.
Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, we have another question that's like, if you could ask a pet a question, they could answer, what would it be? So that would be useful for answering that question.
Well,
What? I think we have
perhaps
some
other people
answers.
are more- yeah.
Yeah, I think we have some answers coming in. So let's see what tech people hope to have in the next 10 years.
In the next 10 years, I hope scientists will invent a pencil eraser that actually works. I'm so tired of smudging my paper with the stupid rubber erasers that don't work. They just smear. It's ridiculous. Even, I used to think that the black erasers on pencils were better. Nothing works. Pink, black. I've even tried blue. And then you get the even pencil type. Anyways, what they need to do, scientists need to invent an eraser that actually erases well for pencils.
That is so funny. Yeah, no, I feel like there's... I don't know how we haven't done it yet.
I mean, honestly, I really hope that scientists start inventing like jetpacks. Like, I know we might be like a little ways off, like maybe more than 10 years, but I feel like it's been a while since we had like a really cool new form of transportation. And I think we deserve some jetpacks.
Iron Man style. That's the way I would go.
I think Tesla will come out with them.
I hope that scientists in the next 10 years will figure out a way to have plants talk to us, because I think it would make gardening a lot more interesting. And then they can just tell us why they're dying and we could fix it without trying 1,000 different things. And then they maybe wouldn't die as often.
I have killed every plant that I have tried to own.
I'm so sorry. You're not listening.
I'm not
In the
listening.
next 10 years, it would be so amazing if scientists could find a way to treat Alzheimer's or dementia more effectively. It's so sad when family members can't remember their life, their friends, their children. So it would be just such a game changer if they could figure out a way to cure Alzheimer's.
Just like take your brain out of your skull, like rinse it clean, squeeze it, and just pop it right back
Hope in
in.
the next 10 years
So good.
that we finally find the cure for cancer. I know it's been a long time coming, but I think it's around time to do it. That's really what I hope that happens in the next 10 years.
Does feel like it's getting closer, doesn't it?
Yeah, and just think about 10 years ago
My
versus
response
now.
to what would I hope the scientists would invent in the next 10 years? It would be brains for men who think they can control women's bodies. Yeah, because we live in a society where men think they have a choice on women's appearances, bodies, and what we do. So I feel like in the next 10 years, scientists need to create like a brain or something to go that they can eat that can make their brain think. Yeah.
I have a different position on this.
Whatever.
Just don't listen to guys. Just don't listen to them. Just do your thing.
Period.
So, speaking of doing your thing right now should be to vote. Oh, everybody should vote. Vote for your favorite answer. Send them to the finals, and then they could be the champion of the week. Vote for something that you thought was like so right, or made you laugh.
Yeah. I will say I appreciate the number of answers that are just like, if we Keith, what you did, it's like if you take the brain out, just like squeaky clean it, rinse it out, wring it out, and then just put it back in.
But they really have come up with like amazing medical advances in the last few years.
Yeah.
I mean, do you believe like Ozempic? Like they're essentially curing diabetes, but they're kind of curing being overweight. Who would have thought?
Congratulations, Angel.
Wow.
That with a great answer.
Yeah.
So, what?
Yes, we should not have opinions about other people, activities, actions, attributes, whatever. People should just keep their mouths shut. I think that's what she's saying.
I believe so, but we'll hear it again when she makes it to the finals.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, great answer, Angel. Congratulations again. Well, I think now that we have all of the developments we need to focus on in the next 10 years from these answers, we can move on to the next question, which is, if aliens invaded Earth, what movie monster would you choose to defend mankind?
Well, there's been a lot of talk of Sharknado today.
Is Sharknado a movie monster, though? I don't remember the plot exactly, but wasn't it like just a freak?
A tornado full of sentient sharks. And if you go into the later movies, sometimes a shark has 8 heads. Okay. It's not Rodan and Godzilla and King Kong.
No.
But it is a shark. It's a tornado full of sharks. I think that's a pretty good one.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
You think that counts as a movie monster?
Yes, I believe that but I also think that like the Halloween, like Jason and those guys, I think those are movie monsters too.
Really?
But maybe less effective against aliens than say Godzilla.
I don't know.
Who would smoke them? Godzilla would beat Sharknado.
Easy. Yeah. No, I think that one. Also the Meg though. That would be good. Like one huge shark.
Right. Just swallow the aliens.
Anyone seen Meg 2 yet?
Not yet. It's on my list though. I need to see like all of the potential Best Picture nominations. So Meg 2 is
including
on that
the
list.
Meg.
Every time I hear of it, it just makes me think of Family Guy.
Because of Meg?
Yeah, and they treat her like she's a movie monster.
A little bit.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So,
yeah, I think we have some answers coming in. Let's see what movie monsters people have chosen. If they chose any of ours, maybe.
I'm sure everyone's like Godzilla, King Kong, and those are cool. But I'm gonna go one better. Cthulhu. Nothing can stand up to Cthulhu. H.P. Lovecraft, he has got it in the bag. That's all. That's all I need to say. Mic drop. Cthulhu, owns all. Any aliens, any of us. He wants your brains. He'll be in your dreams. He will come and get you, and you won't survive.
So I'm down with Cthulhu, but is Cthulhu in a movie? I think Cthulhu is a book
As far as I'm
monster.
concerned, if aliens invaded Earth, there's actually only one movie monster to choose from, and that's Godzilla. He's got the tools, he's got the talent. And if you choose anybody else, you're just wrong. Like, there's nobody else to choose but Godzilla. He will protect us. What he does best.
He breathes freezy ray, and he has lightning.
If aliens invaded Earth, I'd probably bring Godzilla, only because he has a track record. I think if there was an exterminator of hostile aliens in the monster movies, it would be Godzilla. He comes in, he cleans up shop, and he leaves. And everyone just loves him for it. Besides the newer Godzilla movies, but I think he's good. I think the destruction is worth the payoff.
Simply,
Monster with the heart of gold.
He eats and leaves no crumbs.
Edward Cullen. That's it. Just him.
My first crush? Oh my gosh.
He stuns them all with his glittery body.
Okay. I've got it. Mewtwo! I choose you!
Mewtwo,
They are
I
pocket
think
monsters.
Mewtwo would have a pretty good chance. I think. Like, he's got some pretty wicked skills and powers, so I reckon in a battle like that, yeah, it could save mankind.
She has a unique love for the Pokemon critters. She really does.
When I first read this question, I was like, I kept thinking of aliens. I thought of Monsters Inc., but perhaps I would bring Bowser from Super Mario World universe. I mean, he was able to keep Peach away from Mario for like hundreds of levels. I don't think I've ever finished a Super Mario game, so maybe that's what we need. We need Bowser to hide all of humanity, and the aliens won't be able to defeat the levels to come.
Yeah, but every time I play Super Smash Bros. With Bowser, I end up losing, so I don't know. Maybe it's me, but maybe it's Bowser.
All right, well, folks, it's time for us to vote. You can vote by clicking one of the blue buttons across the bottom of your screen. And if you don't have a clickable button because you're on YouTube, there's a link in the chat that you can click on that will pop it right open, and then you can vote right now and send one of these folks to the finals. If you're playing on BeOnTheAir.com, you should see them right across the bottom of your screen. Yes. I'm like sitting here like racking my brains like, who's the scariest monster? You know? But
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
He's an awful monster. Oh!
Wow!
What about a Balrog? A Balrog could be really badass.
Well, congratulations, London, with her answer of Bowser. And disagree with what I said, but so I guess it really is just me losing for Bowser.
Yeah, otherwise we're all in a lot of trouble, Phoebe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, by the way, quick addition, I did remember that Cthulhu isn't in a movie, but he is in a episode of South Park, if that counts.
Oh, that makes sense.
So,
It's
but
like
yeah.
Dance Off or something with Cthulhu. South Park, yeah.
Basically. Yeah, congratulations, London. Bowser. Phoebe, I guess it's a skill issue. Just have to get better.
Looks like it. I mean, really all I do is like breathe fire on people. And then the people who actually know how to play, like my fiance, just chuck me off the platform. So.
And who does he play?
He does a lot of Ganondorf. Ike, I think, is another one of his. I don't know. Mr. Game & Watch, who looks cute. And then all of a sudden it's game over.
This isn't part of my game world.
Smash?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It runs in these circles over
Miss
at my
Pac-Man.
place.
That's the last video game I think I played.
I think you can actually play as Pac-Man in Super Smash Bros. Now, though. So,
Can you?
yeah, I think so. Okay.
Tally ho.
Tally ho. Let's do it. On to the next question. Let's see what we have in store. Ooh, okay, a little bit more introspective. What book or movie has impacted you the most?
It's a good chance to go back and talk about Cthulhu some more.
Exactly.
If you're a Lovecraft fan. Though there is a new show called Lovecraft. I don't know if you get, not that new, but maybe you've seen it.
Yeah.
Well, are we like volunteering our own answers, or we're just gonna like talk about like books?
Go
in
for
general?
it. Give us yours.
I have 2 books. So Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by Robert Pirsig. Great book, but it was like the lessons of ancient Greek philosophy that we can take to improve our lives today. That was one. And the other one is The Greatest Salesman in the World, which is kind of like an odd telling of the wisdom of St. Paul. It's weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very good.
But I recommend it. It's 80 pages, which makes it so much better.
Yeah.
I could pick that up and finish it by the time the show is over. Done. Well, I think we have some answers coming in from fans, so let's see what books and movies they recommend, or what books have a big impact on them.
The newest Joker really speaks a lot to mental health and how those around you can really play a difference in how you handle that.
I never thought about the Joker that way, but that's good.
Dr. Greger's book, How Not to Die, got me into nutritional science and my own health. And it's been invaluable in my life and makes me feel safe about the food I'm eating and what I'm choosing to put into my body.
This is where I wish that we could ask follow-up questions.
I would say Harry Potter just because it was a fun read.
Yeah. You guys big Harry Potter readers? Never.
Yeah, I've read all of them and watched all the movies. You know, base level stuff.
I would say Douglas Copeland's Life After God. It kind of puts perspective on things as you read it.
Very controversial book.
But the controversial ones are
I
always
think the
most
book
fun.
that impacted me the most is Rich Dad Poor Dad. It allowed me to pursue a career in finance.
My brother talks about that book a lot. He said it was very powerful for him as well.
Honestly, guys, if you heard or seen the movie Founder by, I forget what, Jay Kroc or something like that is the main character, the guy that created McDonald's, but they just showed you that you can truly do anything that you want to do. Not really speaking, he did screw over a lot of people, but the story remains.
Yeah, I read his autobiography. It's called Grinding It Out. No kidding. And he's an interesting person, but you know, you can't argue with the level of success that he had. And he was kind of a very focused individual. Well, guys, it's time to vote. If you haven't voted yet, just click on the chat button, open up the voting screen, and there's 6 buttons there. Pick your favorite and send them to the finals. Is it going to be Allie or Dan? Nick? You know? Pick somebody who like really spoke with you. Maybe you have the same. Maybe you're a big Harry Potter fan too, like Allie. Oops, like Caitlin. Excuse me.
Lots of options. Yeah, no, I think there's like, I'm impressed by the number of books. Like I know that it's a book that shook, but you know, movies are the big one. So congrats on being readers.
Ooh,
Harry Potter. Oh.
Another thing I've learned with Harry Potter and that I've been trying to try is people say if you've already read the books and you're trying to learn a foreign language, read them again in the foreign language. Because as the books go on and Harry gets older, the writing and the themes increase in complexity.
Do you know another book series that did that was Little House on the Prairie?
Really?
Yeah, and the little books are written for little kids, and then the older books, when she gets married, are very adulty.
Yeah.
So, that's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's funny too, so because I've started reading, I'm on the Sorcerer's Stone in Italian, and the way that the translators will sometimes choose to change people's names.
Yeah.
And some of the names are just like funny Sometimes they pick like Muggle is just like a random word that they like made up, but it's not Muggle anymore. It's like something different.
What was the problem with Muggle?
I don't know.
Oh.
Voldemort has a random name too, but they still say you know who. They say les sacchi, which is you know who in Italian. So it's pretty funny. It's interesting.
It's a great hack. Who needs Duolingo anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
Shall we move on?
Yes, we shall.
Caitlin, we will see you back in the finals.
Yes, congratulations. Let's see what question we have up next on the docket. Ooh, this is cool. Has an animal ever saved your life? Tell us about it.
So I love this question, not so much because an animal has saved my life, which actually has happened, but more because it's like we crave this connection to the rest of the world. Like we talk to humans all the time, but wouldn't it be great, if our relationship with trees, birds, and animals was as equally profound as the ones that we have with people, and that they were out there looking out for us, It's almost like we're talking about proof of a caring universe, which I think is something that's nice to think about.
Yeah, definitely. Like also like the, especially if it's like a pet.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if a pet saved your life, that's a good sign that you've done a pretty good job raising them, taking care of them. So it is like it's the universe taking care of you, but also like the universe giving back to you for like congratulations on doing things right. Yeah. Well, I know that we have some wild stories in store for this question, so let's see what people have had to say about this one.
Well, to be honest and to think about it, there are no times in my life where I have been saved by an animal, or I haven't been in any like tragic accidents or whatsoever before.
All right. Well,
that's good to hear that,
nobody's ever had to save your life because
Has an animal ever saved my life? I don't think so. I've had weird encounters with animals though. I encountered a wolf once in my backyard, and I pet it, and he didn't kill me. So I thought it was a dog. I thought it was a dog at the time until it came into the light, and then I was like, "Oh, that's a wolf." But no animals have saved my life. I guess just spared me. It's the only instance there.
Well, the other question. Yeah, the question is like you saw a random animal in your yard and you decided to pet it.
I had a dog when I was 11 or 12, and he was the best dog. He was awesome. He loved. He was one of those real loyal, real steadfast dogs. He was medium sized, but basically one day, there was somebody trying to get into our house, and I was dead asleep. I'm 11, 12. I'm not really I'm playing sport and all that. Like I'm playing football. I'm not trying to, I'm knocked out basically. I have no energy. So, and this was I won't say it was in the middle of the night, but it was like 9 or 10, I think. And someone was trying to break into our house. And so my dog woke up, started barking. And this dog was little at the time. We had just got him. But he was in the in-between phase, but he had that grown bark that it sounded like a big dog on the other side. So I guess the person heard that and they ran off after that. And that is how my dog saved my life.
That's a good dog. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that was a good growl.
I got that from my dog, Sir Tiny.
I'm a vegetarian for the last 7 years, and I'm mad about animals in general, but also a dog did come into my life while I was having a very rough time. I was diagnosed with anxiety, and my dog kind of acted without knowing to, I guess, but kind of like a support dog. He'd follow me to the bus every morning for school, and he'd wait at the bus stop every evening to pick me up. Yeah, he was great.
That's also a good dog.
Very good dog. That's so cute.
Has an animal ever saved my life? Not directly, but I will say this, especially cats, kittens more so, they save your life in the sense that they make you a lot happier. I remember before I got my 2 little fur babies, my 2 little cats, I used to be very depressed, very angry, and now with these little critters running around, I'm as happy as can be.
Aw.
Phoebe, where do you stand on that issue?
What do you mean?
Kitties.
You know, I don't actually think that an animal has saved my life. I won't say that my dog has ever definitely saved my life, but for their sake, maybe one day there was a man walking past our house and he was maybe going to murder us, but my dog's barked enough, so that scared him away. So give that to my dogs. Benefit of the doubt.
So, it's all hypothetical because the dogs aren't coming back and saying, look what I did, and they're like demanding thanks. They just do it.
Yeah, yeah. Beatrice is throwing them a bone, proverbially and literally.
My childhood dog saved a bunny's life because my siblings and I found a bunny and assumed it was dead, and we buried it, and then my dog dug it back up, and we found out it was alive. So
that's a good dog.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, wow. That's
Yep.
wild.
Though it is sort of contrary to dog nature to go and like save bunnies.
It is in the dog's nature to dig, though.
Yes, exactly. Well, hopefully you're voting because we're at the end of the voting section. What did you vote for? Was it the dog, or the kitties?
The kitties.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Reminds me of our dog versus cat question.
I know.
Dogs
True.
so win that one.
It's no, the bunny won that one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Rabbits won.
Well, also, Keith, we're gonna need to hear your story once we hear what the winner is.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
The wolf that didn't eat him. So
he was spared.
Okay, why were you petting a wolf? I guess
Here's
if a
what
wolf
I
walked
think.
up.
I think it was nighttime and he thought it was a stray dog. So he ran up to it and gave it a little pet.
See, this is the
I'm
problem
not
that
saying
I
I
have
wouldn't-
with the story is that I just don't think that a wolf would have like stayed there and let him pet it. I think it must have been not a wolf.
Maybe it was like someone's illegal pet wolf.
Or yeah, that's certainly the case, or it's a spirit wolf. Because he's got a wolf
Or it's a
look.
spirit wolf. Yeah, he does seem the type that wolves would spare.
What do you call him? Team Jacob?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right, though. You got it.
Our second reference to that series today. Yeah, no, it's just like I had this cat that bit me on the nose until I woke up because I was like being asphyxiated by propane gas that had filled the boat that I was living on at the time. And the cat was biting me, so I threw him out of the boat. Just like, leave me alone. I went back to sleep in the gas-filled boat that could have gone up. Cat jumped back in the window, ran up across my chest, bit me on the nose really hard. I've got a scar right there now to wake me up. And then finally I was like, oh, my goodness. The boat is full of propane. So, yeah, and then I got up. That was Bart. Good cat. Very good cat. If you guys have ever met Bart, he was one solid cat. So it's not all about dogs for me, though I do love and appreciate the many dogs that I have had and still have dogs right now.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, shout out to the pets out there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bart. Well, I think we got a new question coming down the pike. So let's see. Speaking of dogs, should only trained service jinx. Should only trained service dogs be allowed on airplanes, or is any comforting pet okay? Controversial.
Do people still do this? I remember this was really big.
What do you mean?
Like maybe
bring
3
your pets
years
on?
ago, people were bringing like all sorts of crazy animals on airplanes, but I
I'm-
haven't seen it in a while.
I know a lot of people I know who have cats will bring the cats in a carrier and keep the carrier down by their feet on the plane. And I don't have a problem with that as long as the pet stays in the carrier. But I know like you're in a super tight enclosed space with people who might have allergies. And there have been a lot of stories recently about people who put service dog vests on non-service dogs, and then the dogs act aggressively on the airplane.
That is the most selfish
Yeah, it's
act
really
I can
bad.
conceive of. You know what?
It's bad.
I'm just disgusted. I just
Too
can't
mad
go
to read
on.
the answers. All right,
Yeah.
that's a great show, guys.
We have the answer.
You people are despicable. Well, let's go on. Let's see what people had to say,
Yeah.
because maybe somebody's going to talk me out of this. Maybe they're going to say yeah, whatever it
I believe
takes.
any animal can be a social service animal because they have that potential. So I think everyone should be allowed.
Snake?
Snakes on a plane?
A pony? I don't think so.
You know, I
Maybe a pony.
completely understand that some people have service animals that are not dogs. However, when you're dealing with an airline and such strict protocols, you know, you don't want to turn the airline into a stock carrier. And so it really does need to be narrowed down. Now, I understand that that's going to limit some people from being able to travel. However, you know, there's other travel options and there's other ways to go about getting across the country. And if you need a service pig, then maybe you need to look at some different options.
Thank you very much. She said it so much better than I could have. I was just mad.
I believe the Department of Transportation made a great call only allowing dogs as service animals. The reason being, I read an article that said that flyers were taking advantage and bringing on all kinds of animals, including peacocks and pigs, onto a plane, where that's crazy. Like a peacock on a plane? Come on.
Yeah.
The newest horror movie.
Peacocks. Well, like if the
I mean,
feathers
I'm
go
fine
out,
with
it's
it because my cats don't travel with me, but I definitely think cats are also very important emotional support animals. I have one. So I think that they should be allowed to fly because they're in cages. They're not going to be out and about. They're not going to hurt anybody. I think it should be fine.
I can see cats.
Not mine, though. They would not stay in that
I
carrier.
actually do think this was a good call. It had been getting out of hand. I'd seen on planes comfort peacocks and emotional support pigs. I'm not buying it. I think we should stick with dogs. They've been trained in the past to provide emotional support, and they're definitely the cuddliest. So let's stick with dogs.
Yeah, and I don't doubt that people get comfort from different kinds of pets.
Okay, so my first answer is definitely anyone should be able to bring an animal with them on a plane if they are like giving them emotional support. But logistically, like, what if their emotional support animal is like a gigantic pig or a mastiff or something? Like, that wouldn't.
Yeah, or a heffalump. You never know. I have any idea. What,
I think a
what
lot
if
of people
Godzilla's your support animal? I'm just saying that because you've got a need, it doesn't mean that it's a requirement for everybody else to bow down to that. You got to be reasonable. Lots of people out there, they've got needs too. Anyways, speaking of needs, you need to vote because they need to go to the finals, right? So click on one of the blue buttons across the bottom of your screen, send one of these really great answerers into our final round because it's totally up to you guys. If you see blue buttons across the bottom of your screen, then go ahead and click on it. If you don't see those blue buttons, click on the link in chat to open up the voting window. If you're on BeOnTheAir.com, I'm sure that you already see it. Right, they're right there in the widget window with all the other widgets.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's funny. I think we were looking into this to have the opinions challenged, but a lot of people agreed with you, Keith.
Danielle with her cat. And you know what? I think she won because she brought the cat on camera, which we've said is never gonna hurt your
chances
submission.
of victory.
No, it's not.
Having a cute little cuddly pet. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna-
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring Sir Tiny up here next time.
Oh my god.
Sir Tiny's. I have all these big dogs, you know, like big dogs.
Yeah.
And but then we recently have this rescue animal, Sir Tiny, and he's like an older. I don't even know what he is. He's an older dog, furry. Everybody loves him. He's like a ladies go to lunch with their dogs kind of dog.
Like a purse dog?
Yeah, he's a purse dog, but he's old, you know. Anyway, he's totally cool. And but he'd be great on TV. He would sit right here. He is about mic high, about that big.
Next big show. We need to bring Sir Tiny on the air. Ask him these questions.
What is your favorite book, Sir Tiny?
I want to know if Sir Tiny believes in fate or free will.
Yeah.
Well, I think we might have like one or two more questions, so we're nearing the end. But let's see what next question we have in store. Ooh, this is a cool one. Okay, pick anyone living or dead to cook with for 2 hours. Who is it? And just as importantly, what are you making?
So this is like a question that's been around for a while among the QOTD crowd. And I've seen a lot of good answers on this one. And I've given it a lot of thought myself. And you know what I'm thinking?
What?
Martha Stewart.
Oh.
Martha Stewart has like a lot to say. She's been through a lot. She's made some mistakes, and then she's come back from that. She also can cook like a demon, and she's like really funny. She does a show with Snoop Dogg. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but she's like the whole package. Martha Stewart, that's my choice.
I like what's the woman? Ina Garden.
Ina Garden.
Yeah, who does the engagement chicken. I think she's so funny. And I just want to drink some wine and cook that engagement chicken with her.
She has come up.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Somebody answered in YouTube today about Guy Fieri. They're like, how come people aren't talking about Guy Fieri more? He's a wild man. True. I like his barbecue show.
Oh, what was it? Diners, drive-thrus, and Dingle Hopper.
Duck, dash, dive, and diners.
Diners.
We'll figure it out. We'll get there. We'll get there. Well, I think we have some answers coming in, so let's watch these. And also, after this, I need to know what an engagement chicken is.
Okay. Yeah.
Hands down, I would spend my 2 hours with my mom. She passed away 10 years ago, but was a wonderful cook and baker, especially. And I have a giant sweet tooth, so making things from her recipe book, albeit not as well as she did, bring me back to my childhood and really good memories with her. So that would be just an incredible 2 hours.
Agreed. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
I gotta go with the chef from Ratatouille. I believe his name is Gustavo. Unfortunately, he passed away, leaving only his son Linguini. But, I think his message, anyone can cook, is really important. And I think he could show me a thing or two.
Yeah. He wouldn't be making frozen microwave meals.
I'll admit it. I would really love to spend some time in the kitchen with Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, and try to understand the secret behind the secret sauce, and maybe how to get that Big Mac just right, because I have a weakness for it.
If I had a nickel for every time we mentioned Ray Kroc on this show, I'd have 2 nickels. It's a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
It is a little weird.
I would absolutely choose my grandmother on my mom's side. She passed away over 10 years ago, but she probably cooks the best Indian food that I've ever had, and I would love to spend that time with her.
Oh, that's sweet.
Very. I love the heart.
One person that I would spend my day or my 2 hours in the kitchen with would be my grandfather. He passed away about 22 years ago this year, and he made the best red pea soup. I'm from the Virgin Islands, so Caribbean dishes, anything would be amazing just to have that time with him again.
So when my family came to the United States, my grandma had previously had a very sheltered life, but when she came to America, she ended up having to basically start over. So if I could cook with anybody for 2 hours, it would be her.
I bet she's got some opinions and stories.
Yeah.
The kitchen is where this all goes down. People are talking about they want to reconnect with their loved ones, but they're not going to do it out on the pickleball court, right? They're not doing it in front of the TV. They want to be in the kitchen because the kitchen is where it all goes down. The kitchen is the heart of the house. I clearly have an opinion. Hey, everybody, it's time to vote. We want to hear your opinion, even if it's only in the form of a click. Click one of the blue buttons across the bottom of your screen. If you don't see those blue buttons, let's say you're on YouTube, there is a link in the chat that you can click on that will pop open a voting screen so that you can vote. Yeah, who are you going to vote for? Alexis? Quinn? Pear? I'm not like looking down because there's a little shield that keeps me from seeing everybody's name.
Oh no. Well, I noticed that there's like a good amount of like the heartfelt like grandparents reconnecting. I mean, we just talked about it, like obviously, but I love the heartwarming answers. They're just they're so human.
Except that the winner is Gustavo
Ray
from
Kroc.
Ratatouille. Anyone can cook, which is a very, I think it's an important message that he sent out. Anyone can cook.
Yeah.
Except that it inspired an entire restaurant to be run by sewer rats, which I don't know.
Yeah, but you just got to respect it. If the food's good, the food's good. I think that was the message. It's not that everybody can be a cook, but that a great cook can come from anywhere.
Right.
We have no idea.
All right, JJ, here's the engagement chicken story, real quick. So I don't know if Ina actually invented it, but it's sort of like this legendary recipe. And the lore is that women pass this, it's a recipe for like a roasted chicken. They pass it on to each other. And every time someone cooks it, her boyfriend proposes to her like a few weeks later. So it must be a good chicken. And yeah, you have to cook it and serve it to your boyfriend.
Right.
So it must be a good chicken.
And you fill it full of like gin, right? That's the
I guess.
way you get there. Okay, I see.
That's wild. That's very interesting. I did not know about that. So I guess if I ever get a chicken served to me, I will know that it's time.
Yeah, somebody's lobbing you the old tomato, as we say. So shall we?
Yes,
I think that was the last. That was the last round before.
I think it might be. Yeah, I think it might be. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah! Final round time. We made it. We've gone through all the questions, and now it's time to pick a winner.
So the way this round works is, since you guys have all voted for your favorite answers and they are now in the finals, we're going to do a quick review of everything that you voted for. So 6 quick answers. We'll review them so that you know what you're voting for, and then you're going to vote. Pick the very best one, and they will be your QOTD champion of the week. With no further ado,
yes, let's get into this recap now.
When I first read this question, I was like, I kept thinking of Aliens. I thought of Monsters Inc. But perhaps I would bring Bowser from Super Mario World universe. I mean, he was able to keep Peach away from Mario for like hundreds of levels. I don't think I've ever finished a Super Mario game, so maybe that's what we need. We need Bowser to hide all of humanity, and the aliens won't be able to defeat the levels to come get us.
Yeah, so London's answering the question, what movie monster would you pick to defend the Earth from
My
aliens?
response to what would I hope the scientists would invent in the next 10 years? It would be brains for men who think they can control women's bodies. Yeah, because we live in a society where men think they have a choice on women's appearances, bodies, and what we do. So I feel like in the next 10 years, scientists need to create like a brain or something to go that they can eat that can make their brain think.
A pill.
Yeah, pill. So
a little mind your own business pill.
Angel's answering the question, what do you hope the scientists invent?
Because it was a fun read.
Book that changed your life.
Yeah, Caitlin.
Could go with any of the classic answers, like The Room, for example. But I think I want to go with any of those recent kids movies that are for kids and are kind of cringy, like Sonic, for example, or Sonic 2. And they're very cliche, and they're really kind of for kids. But if you just sit back and let yourself enjoy it, it can be kind of fun.
Elias is answering the question, what movie is so bad that it's awesome?
I gotta go with the chef from Ratatouille. I believe his name is Gustavo. Unfortunately, he passed away, leaving only a son, Linguini. But, I think his message, anyone can cook, is really important. And I think he could show me a thing or two.
Quinn, if you could spend 2 hours in the kitchen with anyone, who would it be? And
Has an
choose a
animal
cartoon.
ever saved my life? I don't think so. I've had weird encounters with animals, though. I encountered a wolf once in my backyard, and I pet it, and he didn't kill me. So I thought it was a dog. Thought it was a dog at the time until it came into the light, and then I was like, oh, that's a wolf. But no animals has saved my life. I guess just spared me. It's the only instance there.
Hawk is answering the question, has an animal ever saved your life?
I mean, I'm fine with it because my cats don't travel with me, but I definitely think cats are also very important emotional support animals. I have one. So I think that they should be allowed to fly because they're in cages. They're not going to be out and about. They're not going to hurt anybody. I think it should be fine.
Yeah, Danielle's telling us, whether or not she thinks animals should be able to fly or just support dogs. Well, guys, now we're going to pick the final champion of the week. Click one of the blue buttons on the bottom of your screen, and whoever it is that you pick will become our new champion. For 7 days, they will wear the crown of glory until next week on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time when we go to the big show yet again.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh.
London.
With Bowser.
Oh,
Yeah, I think a reference to Sonic the Hedgehog is like almost guaranteed to get you into the finals. And so she was answering the question, am I right? That it was, what movie monster would you choose to defend the Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It was a good answer. I don't know who else would be better. Unless you want to go for one of the big guys.
Yeah, you were saying Godzilla.
Yeah,
Godzilla lost.
Yeah, Godzilla came up a lot because that's kind of Godzilla's role after the first, one or two of the old 1960s movies. All he did was defend Earth from other monsters, sometimes working little hand and giant paw of King Kong. They became colleagues in defending the Earth from giant monsters like Rodan and Mothra, and did a good job. So, yes, Godzilla.
Yeah. But the question is, has Godzilla ever pulled the trick of, I'm sorry, but your princess is in another castle?
Yeah. Oh my god.
And but Godzilla's never faced off against Sharknado.
Or have you ever thought you beaten Godzilla, did all the work, and then suddenly Godzilla grabs your princess and jumps in a flying ship and is like, psych, other side of the map.
Yeah.
Now it's just dirty.
Totally.
Well, stinking terrible.
Let me say, first off, congratulations, London, for being our champion. And then secondly, congratulations to everybody else who watched, voted, and recorded all this week and made it all the way to the big show. It's really great. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It is hard to share, your thoughts with strangers, but we're not strangers once you do that. We're all part of the same QOTD community, playing our little video games together. So for those of you guys who've been watching QOTD for a while, but don't know that we now have a second game that's running simultaneously with QOTD, and it's called Sketch the Cat. Sketch the Cat is running 24 hours a day on the QOTD channel, and you can play it as well. It's a totally different vibe, right? It's got music and sketches to play and a lot of people to talk to and crazy bot. It's a lot of fun stuff. Well, my final note in all this is thanks everybody for joining us. And we can't wait to see you answering our questions next week. New questions coming up in just a couple of hours. Subscribe and you can get those questions in your inbox every day. And you should answer them because we can't wait to see you on TV. All right.
Done.
So long, everybody.
Bye, everyone. See you next week. Bye.